Welcome to New Life Live with host and founder of New Life Ministries, Stephen Arterburn. New Life Live is dedicated to transforming lives one at a time thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's Steve.
Hi, New Lifers. Thanks for joining us here. Dr. Jill Hubbard is in the studio along with Becky Brown. Hope that you had a very safe and wonderful 4th of July yesterday. I love fireworks. I love fire.
Too.
I set our house on fire when I was a young child. And I was playing with matches.
That's
Mom
disturbing.
came in. I just stuck them under the sofa. And it is.
not a
Yeah.
good
I mean,
sign, Steve.
I didn't go out to do it. It was an accident, you know. But it was kind of exciting. And my uncle, my dad, they threw the sofa out onto the lawn and all was
that
well.
is exciting.
Yeah, it was. What was really exciting is when Jimmy Ross, my cousin, set off about 100 bottle rockets in his hand because he put the punk into the hand where he was carrying the bottle rockets. That was exciting and a major expense to the emergency room. Well, we're glad you're with us here today, and independence really is. It is quite a concept. To be able to make your own decisions in a country that is on its own, and to really have the option to do what you want to do with your life. And I just hope we never ever lose the strength of independence. And thank you everybody that's ever fought for independence. Solomon and I were in Boston the other day, and we went to the place where they did the Boston Tea Party. And he reenacted it by pouring some tea into the harbor, and we'll forever remember that from him. Anyway, we're going to take your calls here right now. We might as well just get with it, and let's go to JP. And JP, you're joined by someone else.
Yeah, well, it's my wife. Her name is Angela. She actually gets off at 2:00. But she's not willing to participate.
Okay.
She filed for divorce last week. We've been together for 10, almost 11 years. We shared 2 beautiful children. She has 2 children outside of our marriage that I have been their father to since they were 6 and 9.
Okay.
The daughter put me through hell and back. I caught her sneaking the football team in at the 9th grade. I went to the school, told the resource officers the dangers of doing so. The police came out to our house several times.
Okay, those are not the big
time
issues you're dealing with here. What's going on with this divorce thing? What's happening here?
Well, she decided to file for divorce last week out of the blue. What's not out of the blue? She's been acting really weird for a while. She's in denial about her. She deletes her phone activity, her web activity, and I question it. I've been questioning it for the last 3 or 4 months, and I guess she's tired of it. She's filing for divorce, and I just want to save our marriage.
Well, if she's doing all that, all of a sudden it sounds like she's having an affair. I mean, we'd say that if it was a guy doing that. And if she's having an affair, she's not ready to go forward yet. Most affairs don't last very long. And I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just clarifying. She plays the victim in what?
Well, she'll reverse it. Like, you know, I'll be going to work, and she'll be on the corner in her car on the phone, startled that I'm there,
okay.
And then use an excuse she couldn't wait. Go ahead.
Well, no, I mean JP, I think Steve's onto something here. I think we would say these,
behavior.
and we'll talk more about that when we get back from the break. But we're glad you called. It's a disappointing situation.
I came into this thinking
that my husband was the cause of many of our issues.
The New Life Intimacy and Marriage Workshop is coming to Washington, D.C., July 23rd to the 25th.
But after learning about our attachment styles, I understood how our past hurts were playing into our present problems.
Join Steve Arterburn.
It's been a dream of mine for a long time to help people to grow more intimately together, and we believe that everybody has room to grow in the intimacy level of their life.
And Mylan and Kay Yurkovich.
We help couples understand how their attachment style is sabotaging their current relationship. And then we teach them how to create comfort in a relationship.
And New Life's group counselors will help you focus on the area that will benefit your marriage most. To register or to find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Here at this workshop, we had our first ever conversation without yelling, blaming, and accusing.
1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. Steve Arterburn here with the amazing Becky Brown and the profound Dr. Jill Hubbard. And we're talking with JP. JP, we believe that you would have many things to tell us. We have come to a conclusion that there's about, 90% chance that she's not talking to a girlfriend here, or there wouldn't be the need for the secrecy. Now, I'd like you to ask us a simple question in the midst of this complicated situation. What is it that you most want to know?
How do I save my marriage? How do we rekindle our relationship? We were so passionate for so long.
Yeah.
And
okay.
now it's I work from home.
Okay, hold on.
So,
We don't need to hear anything but that big question. And it's a tough question because she's doing very secretive things.
Right. And I hear, JP, that, when the two of you got together, you stepped in, you helped with her kids. They were difficult. You love her. You've tried to be a good guy, and now she's being really sneaky and secretive. JP, can you tell me what broke up her first marriage? Just in a nutshell.
This is her third relationship. The first one passed away.
Okay.
From what I understand, the same thing. She was with another guy. Well, supposedly he was with another guy first. Then she was with another guy.
So there was cheating.
He came to me. Well, yes.
Okay. So first husband passed away. Second husband cheated, or they both cheated.
Correct.
And did they cheat with you?
Did you get involved with her?
Wait, what was that?
Go ahead.
So we were wondering.
She came to me, and because he was very abusive, and I stopped all the abuse.
So you rescued her
and put my life right. And this same guy, ended up going to jail.
Okay.
For 25 years after trying to blow up a synagogue, a Jewish.
Okay,
church.
so she
went.
That's
just an interesting thing that has nothing to do with this.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of parts to
Yeah.
this story, right? But see, JP, I think you came into this relationship rescuing the damsel in distress, right? But this damsel keeps putting herself in harm's way. There's a bit about her that she likes the thrill seeking, the doing things that are illicit, being on the edge a little bit. And after maybe living a life of normalcy, that has crept back in. Or maybe it's been there all along.
Well, and it could be related to the loss of her first husband. I mean, there's lots of different reasons why people get into these kind of cycles. But your question, when you said, how do I rekindle? When someone asks you for a divorce, the fire's out at that point. So it's literally a start over. And if you had any opportunity to get to the truth, and I mean, I would even go as far as to say, I think you're having an affair with somebody. That's why you're sneaking around, and it not from an explosive, big drama, but just like, here's the facts. you're asking me for a divorce. There's really not a reason for it, but there's this other stuff that you're doing that just leads me to think that there's probably somebody else. And I just want you to give me enough respect to tell me if that's exactly true.
Yeah.
And I've tried that, and she says that I'm crazy. She plays the victim. She turns it around, and she plays, and she's a very pretty girl, and she plays the victim where people, they grab her and cuddle her. Oh my God, I can't believe you're going through that.
Let me ask you a quick question. She says she turns it around, and she says, but hold on.
Yes,
she turns it around and says that you're crazy. Does she ever tell you, no, I'm not having an affair?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's what I think you ought to do. I think I'm going to send you The Soul of a Hero. I'm going to send you How We Love. I think you need to get busy becoming the man that you need to be, whether you get back with her or you're out on your own. I think you need to join a men's Bible study, and I think you need to recapture some of the strength and vitality that you had. Now, why would I be talking about this? Well, if you want her to look at you again and maybe rekindle something, even though, as Becky says, the fire's out, you have to be an attractive man, and a weak and a passive man in a situation like this is not going to draw her to you. Now, that's just,
Well, I think too, JP, here's the thing. I think you have to do your own healing work.
Yeah.
You have these children together, and, the other ones, I know that they've caused you a lot of grief, but it's really important, if this is what her decision is, not that you want it, but acceptance is the key to everything, right, Steve? It's just really understanding, okay, she wants to leave, now what do I need to do? And do your own healing, decide, okay, what does this look like as a father? And because it's not like you're not ever going to see her again, and eventually you'll meet the other person that she's involved with. It plays out like this so many times. And I'm so very sorry, JP. I know it feels overwhelming,
right?
But this is the path forward.
Well, and part of this too, JP, it sounds like if she is that person that is looking for people to rescue her or to buy into her story, you've kind of got her number now. Mm-hmm. So you're not providing that. But I think, too, when women get to a point where they say, I'm done, like Becky is talking about, a lot of times they're trying to communicate something that men don't always hear. And so, I would take the risk and go to her and say, what am I missing here? What have I been missing? I've tried to be such a good guy, but obviously I've missed the boat with your heart.
Yeah.
That's
a good idea.
Yeah. Ask her what it is.
All right. I'd like to hear how this all comes out.
Mm-hmm. Call us back.
Want to know why I say get strong before
heal? I think
want to know?
I think I know, but go ahead and share with the whole class.
Because if this is a divorce and he loves her, and especially if there's an affair, it takes a lot longer to heal than to get strong.
Yes.
And you can literally, I have done this. You can walk out, you can feel like dirt, and you go to a men's Bible study, and they pat you on the back, and you can feel like $1 million and you can feel strong in one meeting. So that's why I was encouraging him to.
And it goes along
and it's more attractive.
Well, and it goes along with how they got together in the first place. He rescued her.
Yes.
He, that's what he did. And so now he's defeated because the rescue isn't going the way he thought it would. They're not living happily ever after.
No, they're not.
So,
all right, let's talk to Sally. She's calling us from Savannah, Georgia. Listens on Sirius XM. Hi, Sally. How are you today?
Hi, I'm okay. Thanks for taking my call.
What is on your mind?
I am a surgeon. I'm a military surgeon. I'm stationed in Georgia. My husband lives in Alabama. We've been married for 3 years. Shortly after we got married, the relationship began to become very toxic. So I was listening to your show about a half an hour ago where the woman was describing her mother borderline personality. Although this person's never been diagnosed, They are either on that spectrum, very cyclical, extreme emotions, a lot of verbal and emotional abuse. And so we've been hovering on the realm of divorce over the past year. I've attempted to go to many counselings with him. We went to a 5-day marriage intensive, actually a private marriage intensive, Christian, in North Carolina. My issue now is this is someone who verbally says, I'm never going to divorce you, but I'm not really going to try to improve upon the relationship. You should get a divorce. You should divorce me.
Okay. Yeah.
What are my grounds for divorce in this situation? There's no physical abuse. There's no infidelity. Yet I do not see this person having the emotional maturity to really have any introspection upon his behavior. Constant denial of responsibility. My bad behavior is because you hurt me first, kind of thing.
Yeah. Hey, let me just share with you. I feel for you because I do understand how horrible this is to live like this. Now, you've asked a very tough question, and we'll start with Jill and then go to Becky. You've said, okay, he says, divorce me. And there's no adultery and anything like that. Jill, what do you say to someone?
It's interesting. He's trying to get you to do the paperwork, right? So that he doesn't perhaps look like the bad guy.
Right. You're saying, Jill, that he's already divorced her.
Well, right. If you're not willing to try at your marriage, right, you're not living up to the marital vows. He's putting little effort into the marriage. He's not going to put any effort towards divorce, right? And so this is the way he just can say, see, the problem is yours. You're the one that was unhappy. And he keeps himself from having to ever deal with anything. So he sounds like someone who's highly avoidant. And those can be really difficult people.
Just a little background, I'm his third wife.
And have all of them filed?
3 days after say again?
Did all of them file for divorce and not him?
No, I believe he did on both counts.
Oh, okay.
But this is a situation where I don't want to try anymore. I don't want to care about whatever that guy said at the marriage intensive. That's all, out the window. So no one holds me accountable but God.
Okay. Well, so here's the big question, Sally. When you knew that you were going to be the third wife, what did you understand about the first two wives that didn't work out?
The first one was diagnosed bipolar. He got married very young. The second wife was diagnosed alcoholic and cheated on him. The first one cheated on him too. And this is someone whose father he's got every reason to be in the situation he's in. Father's abused him. Mother's very passive. Just had a hard time in life.
So
but that's not an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse, but it sounds like that's why, he shuts down to minimize the pain.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And it sounds like he feels defeated. He's defeated and hopeless.
What do you want to do, Sally?
I want the person that I dated back, but that's not possible. I want the kind Christian man who was selfless and sacrificial. But
where did he go?
He's not there anymore.
Well, but I would say he probably wasn't there. It was probably a mask that he had on because, to look really appealing.
Possible.
Yeah. A lot of times with borderline personality disorder, personality disorder, they're very attractive. They
draw you in
like a magnet. Mm-hmm. And then the mask comes off and it's like, wow.
Even with someone who's depressive or has problems. And we all do that, right? Yeah. When we're dating and the hormones are surging, right? It's our best self that comes forward.
Best foot forward.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see that other
and
foot.
And then you see the other side, right? The downside.
Okay. So she's asked a question. What should she do? He wants her to divorce him.
Well, that's why I'm asking Sally what you want to do.
What do you want?
It doesn't really matter what he wants you to do or not if he's not willing to do everything to die to himself. That's what that's what Scripture says, is that, the man would give up himself for his wife. And he's not really doing that. And it sounds like there's a lot of distress that's going on in the relationship. So what would you want to do?
I want to be able to say that I did the right thing, which is not divorce him as a Christian woman.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know this is not an emotionally healthy relationship.
But this is a unique situation where the other person says, I am not going to divorce you, but you should divorce me. It puts it in a different realm. And I've said this to many, many people, and it has changed some things. But I've said, don't divorce until you've done our marriage intensive, because the success rate is amazing. And you're saying, I really want that guy back. Well, I don't know of anything. I'd tell you if I did anything that would make that more likely to happen.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit it's addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have Christ-centered partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I did go to Take Your Life Back. That's why I continue to support the ministry with the hope that not only am I helping my own situation, that I'm helping others as well.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the New Life member thank you gift of the New Life Journal, 100 Days of Peace, 7 Ways to Choose Healing, Growth Has No Boundaries, a Restoration Bible, and a New Life grocery tote to hold it all. Plus, there are ongoing benefits, like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back, and we're talking with Sally, and as I said, I think that the marriage intensive is a thing. I've recommended it many times, and nobody's gotten a divorce after they've done it. And she's saying she's not saying I'm done, which I'm glad, but she's saying I'd like to have that guy back, and that to me is the greatest chance. Well, in the meantime, I might be saying to him, I'm not going to divorce you so that you can say I divorced you. If you're divorcing me emotionally, physically, legal, let's get on with it. And I would challenge him in that way, and he's going to say, well, I'm not going to do it. Then I would say, well, then let's go to this workshop here and see if we can put this thing back together. Jill?
Right, because it's unacceptable to do nothing, right?
Yeah,
to do nothing is a form of leaving the marriage, right?
Yes.
It's abandoning
that's right.
the relationship because it's one person. It's like whoever wants the least wins, right? So that's not okay. And Sally, we were talking at the break. Interesting that you are a surgeon, right? And surgeons tend to diagnose problems and cut them out. And so I can see how it would be very frustrating for you that this guy just stalls and doesn't do anything. I think that you probably need to take a different approach with him and find out what, you said he has a childhood of difficulty. I would start there with him and really trying to understand and empathize and look at how his behavior now perhaps worked for him when he was young. Sometimes when we just shrink ourselves down, perhaps there's shame there. We are trying to be like the turtle, pulling ourselves inside a shell to protect ourselves from emotional pain.
This is what we talk about in our intimacy and marriage workshop.
Right.
We go back to what is the source of the problem. It's not usually what's happening in the present. It's the past that's driving the future.
Understanding and loving a person with borderline personality disorder. I'm going to send that to you, and I hope that can be of help.
And I hope you see us in Dallas at our it'll be in DC.
Washington DC is in person, and that's coming right up very, very quickly. All right, let's go over here and talk with Carrie, Turlock, California. Sirius XM is also the place she listens. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thanks for taking my phone call.
Sure. What's going on?
Well, my quandary is that I grew up in a home where my mother was abusive and my brother was, in his own way, abusive to all of us kids. And I kind of stuffed everything that happened in my childhood and tried not to bring it into my life now. But it obviously hasn't been healed because I've been reading a couple of books and I'm understanding more and more about the trauma in my life. And whenever my family is around my husband, which recently happened, they start to bring up my mother, the way she was growing up with us kids, and they bring up my brother, how he was abusive as well. And I become really embarrassed about that because, as I said, I tried to keep it hidden, my whole life, and I don't want my husband knowing about that kind of thing. And so I was wondering, is it normal to feel bad about that and feel, as if I should say something to my family members, and, not to be bringing that up, or should I just...
Carrie, I just feel so bad for you because it was obviously so painful for you growing up.
Yeah, that's right.
And the way,
really
so the way you dealt with it then, I hear you still dealing with that today. And sometimes we do things when we're young to protect ourselves, but as we get older, they really no longer fit. And I'm really surprised that you haven't shared all of this with your husband. I think the angle...
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely not, because I didn't want him to think less of me as a person.
But,
gosh,
Carrie, but...
Carrie, here's the thing. There's no normal, so that's a setting on a dryer. And the pain that you went through as a child, and just like you just said, Jill, you are still thinking in that frame of mind. And yet you are a grown woman who has skills, talents, gifts. Your husband loves you.
You're a survivor.
You're a survivor, yeah. And I think the actual help will be when you can share this with him.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he will be so compassionate with you to know your full story. And one of the things we teach at Intimacy and Marriage is to get a PhD in your spouse's childhood, so that you understand where they come from.
Yeah. I'm just curious, Carrie, do you have any close female friends?
Yes, I do, but I don't feel it's appropriate to share any of that personal information with them.
So is there anybody that knows your story, Carrie?
If they were close, they'd be saying...
Just family members. Just family knows everybody's story.
You are such an amazing survivor, and you've just missed that one piece that somebody would admire you for what you've been through rather than think
Well, and
less
I don't
of
think the shame is yours.
I
think
Yeah.
you're
either.
carrying the family
You
shame.
bet. Absolutely. We'll take a break. We'll come right
That's
back
different.
for New Life Live. Hi, this is Steve Arterburn from New Life Live, and Chris Williams and I are doing the Emotional Freedom Workshop. I don't know of anybody that wouldn't benefit from emotional freedom. We're all bound or stuck or struggling in some area. What are we going to do there, Chris?
Just really help people get clarity around the places where they're stuck in their life. They sort of circle the same mountain of disappointment over and over and over again. You're going to be able to see that mountain clearly and get to a new place of what we call emotional freedom, which is simply I can feel in the world, build a relationship to it, and know what to do with my experiences.
The New Life Emotional Freedom Workshop is Saturday, August 14th. Steve Arterburn and Chris Williams will present information on trauma, depression, codependency, and more. And small group leaders will help you process the information you learn. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or register online at newlife.com.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addictions, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
You guys are awesome. You're a blessing to America.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first step toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, please call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433.
We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We are back, and anything else that we have to say that might be helpful here?
I want to encourage you, Carrie, to, if you haven't already, I would like you to see a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be a safe place for you to share your story and to develop the ability to find the words, to find your voice, and know that you can do this. I think
And
the fact
to
that
grieve
you're...
it.
Yeah, and to grieve it. I think the fact that the family is talking about it, like you said, Jill, they're healthy. They're
getting
saying
healthier because
Right,
they're
but
bringing it out in the open.
But it feels overwhelming to you because you haven't come to terms with what happened in your childhood. So therefore, you can't share with your husband, and you're still the secret keeper, and it's devastating.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was saying at the break that the shame you're carrying is really the family shame.
Oh, I think
And
that's true.
It's not your shame. You
Yeah.
were a little girl, Carrie.
And we're so glad you called. That was a great risk that you took.
Absolutely. Right. And I know the very thing we are prescribing is something that is really difficult to do, and that is share with people. And so I hope that you really do take Becky's advice, and we can help you find a therapist, because that's a great place to start.
I'm going to send you Healing as a Choice, and I hope that that's going to be helpful to you. Let's talk to Asia, Allentown, Pennsylvania, WBYN. Asia, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. How can we help?
So I kind of have a mouthful of questions. So I'm going to give you the question, but then give you some background before you answer.
Okay.
So I want to know do you feel is there a such thing as someone setting too big of goals or dreaming too hard? So a little bit of my background. I'm very young. I'm 22. I've been born into poverty all of my life. So I have 2 children, and I'm engaged. So now we have run both of ourselves, me and my fiance. We've dug ourselves out of poverty and being on welfare by building our own business. So I have reached the mark where I quit my full-time job, and now I'm full-time running my own business, making over $100,000 a year.
Good for you.
Wow,
So
at
all I'm
22?
hearing is feedback. At 22 years old, yes.
Wow,
And
that's
my
amazing.
fiance is 24. Yes.
Okay, so you want
Since
to...
I have made this big leap of faith, I haven't
Yeah.
heard anyone say, like, I'm proud of you or congratulations. I've just heard a bunch of negative feedback, like,
Right.
oh, but you're young, and to run a business, you need to pay taxes and insurance. Like, I haven't heard anything encouraging. So am I crazy, or are people pushing their insecurities onto me?
Bingo.
Are you crazy or are they stupid? And I just, I think if I was hearing a story like this,
Wow.
I would want to encourage you to keep going. I would also answer a question for you that you had. Can you dream too big? Yes, you can. And I'm not telling you not to dream. But, I was just talking to a gentleman doing some writing a book or whatever. And he asked me about this. And I said, look, somebody can have an idea, and it's a dumb idea. Or they can have a great dream, but no means whatsoever or ability because it's not their gifting. For instance, if I had a dream of being a great therapist one day, I would fail. But I didn't have that dream. I had a dream of bringing a lot of great therapists to other people. And that's something that I could do. Now, I'm not saying this to get you to dream small, but I am saying you need to be realistic, be sure it's in your gifting. But if you've done what you've done, and I believe that you have, I think you can dream some pretty big dreams.
Well, and here's the thing, Asia. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
I don't know you,
me
but
too.
I'm so proud of
Way
you.
to go, girl.
Yeah, way to go. I mean, it's an amazing story of overcoming. And when you think about dreaming too big, I'm right on the same page with you, Steve, in that fact that you had a big dream to be able to do this. And the sky is the limit on some things, but there has to be some structure underneath it. Now, the
Some
naysayers,
substance.
right,
Yeah.
the naysayers don't know what it's like to live your life. And so they're going to be the ones to say, well, you got to pay taxes. Well, it's good to pay taxes because
you
we live
do.
in a country that has paved roads and,
Right.
water that you can drink and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to have to learn to rise above them and find good people that you can share your life with and build a
and there's
great
lots
dream.
of people that are not risk takers,
Right.
and or that are fear based, right, and see all the pitfalls. And so you take those things into consideration, but you don't let it stop you. And here's the thing with dreaming big. Okay, you've got to dream big in order to get anywhere, right? You've got to have some big dreams.
Right.
If you're a dreamer that just keeps dreaming big, but you never fulfill any of your dreams or even halfway to the mark, then your dreaming just keeps you stuck and keeps you from doing anything. But if you dream and you fulfill, well, right, then it's more reality based. And we are supposed to learn from our mistakes.
Right.
So learn along the way.
So I want to get your address, Asia, because if you did nothing else, you've done a lot right now, just what you've done. I've got a trophy I'm going to send you. From my
The one you got from Goodwill.
I've got a trophy. I'm going to send you this trophy from New Life. And when you get it, you just know somebody's proud of me.
That's right.
New Life is proud of me.
Right.
And you can just set that on your mantle and maybe even giggle every time you see it versus be hurt because nobody's recognized what you've done. I recognize what you've done, and I can't wait to see what's
what
next
else. Yeah.
for you. So anything else you want from us? What?
Yes. Another thing, I don't, because usually this comes from, or where I was working at was corporate, so most people there are like highly educated. They're my elders. So I don't like to brush people off because I know I've accomplished a lot, but I don't know everything. So I don't want to be like standoffish. Like I don't want to hear your unsolicited advice, but I also want to be humble at the same time.
Well, and the way to do that is, yes, that would be horrible to dream too big. And yes, I do have to pay those taxes. Thanks for thinking of me at that level. And what you're not saying is because you don't have the ability to think at any other level than that. But you just don't want anybody to drag you down because a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Drag people down. They don't want somebody out accomplishing them.
Do you know what?
Sad.
So, Asia, God has obviously given you a spirit of risk
Tenacity.
and adventure and tenacity, and that's to be celebrated. But also, even I love the fact that you listen to the people that were around you in the corporate setting. We can all be students for the rest of our lives. We've all got something to learn, and at age 22, the fact that you've learned this much just means the sky's the limit, that you've got so much more to learn, and to take what you need, examine it, and then get rid of the stuff that doesn't work for you.
Right.
And it's okay. But you need a team around you. We talk all the time about the importance of connections, people who know you and you trust, who can be like your team of advisors, really.
Yep. Now, Dave Stoop, he has a daughter, or he had a daughter-in-law when he was alive, named Terry. And he found out that Terry's father, an alcoholic, never told her that he loved her. And Terry says after Dave learned that, whenever they were together, before she would leave, he would walk over, hug her, and whisper in her ear, "I love you."
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I take from that, Asia, you need to find some people that are proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes out of a healthy church, that comes out of a women's Bible study. Anything and everywhere you go, you need to find some people that aren't jealous or trying to pull you down. They really are proud of you. We are proud of you.
Yes.
You called us. I'm glad you did. And I'm going to get that address.
And you're going to
and
get a
you're
trophy.
going to be the owner of a big trophy from Goodwill. And it just doesn't get any better than Goodwill. If you ever make a movie of my life, it would be called Goodwill Hunting. What do you think?
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, all right.
That's perfect.
Okay, let's go to, I just knocked that off.
Yes, you did.
Why don't you just pick someone there for us to go to, Jill, up on the board, and Terry will bring them right up.
Oh, I don't know where it went.
Okay. How about Doug?
Okay, Doug. How are you, Doug?
Good. Thanks for taking my call.
Certainly. Well, there's that music. Hold on. We're going to...
Will do.
Okay. Well, you're listening to New Life Live, and A Gift of Any Amount, we send you The Soul of a Hero, the last book that I wrote with Dave Stoop. When you join Club New Life, wow, you get a shopping bag with New Life on it. You get Henry and John's book, Growth Has No Boundaries, an amazing New Life journal, the Restoration Bible, Women on the Go, and it's a devotional, and 100 Days of Peace. All of that, our way of saying thank you for helping us here at New Life Live. Well, we're grateful for you. And if you can't give, would you pray for us? And pray that one day God will lead you to give and support what we're doing here. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come right back with more of Dr. Jill Hubbard, Becky Brown, and Steve Arterburn, New Life Live.
It had become very apparent that some of the things I was involved with were taking over my life.
In today's world, men are barraged with inappropriate content and images, all day, every day. Some say that certain behaviors are just no big deal. They're just part of being a guy. But it's simply not true. It's a battleground for every man, and the opportunities to fail are everywhere. The Everyman's Battle Workshop can help.
After 7 years, he came home and just one weekend, a completely changed man.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity and purity through their one-of-a-kind Everyman's Battle Workshop.
He didn't want to go, and he came home and said, I think this is something that every man should go to. Married, dating, it was definitely life-changing.
Now the workshop is coming to Dallas July 9th through the 11th. Don't wait for him to call. To find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to newlife.com. 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I did go to Take Your Life Back. That's why I continue to support the ministry with the hope that not only am I helping my own situation, that I'm helping others as well.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the New Life member thank you gift of the New Life Journal, 100 Days of Peace, 7 Ways to Choose Healing, Growth Has No Boundaries, a Restoration Bible, and a New Life grocery tote to hold it all. Plus, there are ongoing benefits, like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back, and we're talking with Doug here, Palmyra, Pennsylvania. First-time caller. Doug, how can we help you today?
We weren't able to have children, but we have a relative in the family that has 5. And the oldest niece is not married. She's 36, or right around there. And she started dating a guy that is divorced. And he, like some of his actions, he's not well liked in the family, and they've talked to her. Her sisters have talked to her. Her parents have talked to her. Her pastor has talked to her. We've talked to her, and her grandmother has talked to her. And we've prayed and prayed, and I guess I'm at the point, I don't know what to do.
I do.
I guess we just have to.
I do.
Okay.
Talk to him.
Yeah.
Talk to him. Become someone that is in his life, is participating in his life, in their dating. Take him to breakfast, lunch, dinner. Talk to him about values, expectations, be the man, put into his life. One of two things will happen. He will either be drawn to you, or he will complain to her, and if he does, it might open her eyes a little bit. In her eyes, you go from standing back and criticizing to participating and caring and loving. Easy to complain, difficult to engage in the battle. So,
and find out
that's
his
what
story
I would do.
too.
Yeah,
Doug.
what
I
is
think
his
that's a
deal?
big. Yeah, there's a big part of. She sees something in him. She's attracted to him somewhere, and so I think sometimes. Go ahead.
He's energetic, and she's on the go all the time, and that's what she likes. She finds that attractive to him.
Okay.
My problem with getting together with him, he lives like 2.5 hours away.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're not going to be able to do it, but like maybe every other week, because that's
at least
quite a
make
drive.
one. At least
Yeah.
make one drive, but then maybe FaceTime or just getting to know him.
Go tell him you want to be
Meet
with
halfway.
him. Be with him, and then next.
meet
I mean, if
halfway.
it goes well, maybe he'll come your way, or you meet in the middle. There's just
Right.
all sorts of things. Once you've made the commitment to put into his life. Now, I
Right.
don't think that fixes everything.
No.
But it
I
gives
do.
you more credibility.
Yeah.
Because if everybody's against him but nobody knows him, then she's not going to trust.
No, well,
your
not only
words.
that, she's going to go with him,
Right.
and you guys are going to lose her.
Because look,
And
she's
so-
36 and single,
Yeah,
right?
right.
First of all, everybody she dates is probably going to be divorced.
So,
Right.
So
Right?
So you this is a stupid example, but he steals, and then you find out that his dad stole everything from him. So you're able to say to her, "Well, it's no wonder that he steals." Because see, now I understand what this stealing's all about. I mean, there is a chance that something like that is going to come up, and she's going to have some insight. But really, in the grand scheme of things, wouldn't it be sad if the Christians ran off the guy they didn't like?
Right.
And never, ever invite him to be a better man.
And I think it's okay to say, you know what, we haven't been for you. And I realize maybe that's unfair because I haven't gotten to know you.
Yeah.
Unless he doesn't know that, and then don't say
well,
that.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to send you 2 copies of The Soul of a Hero. I think you'll love it, and you give it to him. It could make a difference. I've got time for Bonnie's call. It's got to be quick, but I did want to get to you, Bonnie. What's your question?
Hi.
Hi.
What is your question, Bonnie?
My question is that I'm raising a granddaughter, and she's starting to ask if she can see her father, that is my son, and she's not allowed. But I haven't tell her the truth. Why? And I don't know if she's prepared to receive the truth.
And why can't she see him? Why can't she see him?
Oh, he's a total mess and an abuser, and we just found out, like I said before, that he sexually abused my daughter, his sister, for 6 years when she was little, and all that stuff. So I don't want to tell that to my granddaughter.
You're going to have to, in a way that she can, these are the kind of conversations you have that are age appropriate. You can say things like, he's not safe, I'm so sorry. And, to kind of create an understanding of reality for her without being detailed at this moment. But you can't go from daddy's away somewhere to he's a child molester, which is the truth. But it's, educating her
graduated
about
steps.
Yes.
And ask her, what do you know about your father?
Yeah.
And what questions do you have?
And rather than say what you said to us, which I'm not saying you would, that he's a mess or he's a bad guy. If it was my daughter, I would be saying this. Here's what I would be saying. Your father isn't with you, and there's a reason. He made some really, really crummy choices. He made some mistakes. And right now, honey, it's really not safe for you or me or anyone to be with him. Now, I'm so sorry to have to tell you that, but we're going to pray for him, and we're going to hope that he becomes that safe person where you can one day have a relationship with him. But right now, if you were with him, he's just in a place where I think you'd be disappointed, and I want you to be with him when you can have a real relationship.
And help her be sad about it. Help her to have a space where she can be disappointed, or even, because a 12-year-old's going to complain about that, and just let her, I understand this is hard, because it is hard. It's very difficult.
So hard.
But this story, the way that this is going to change is where it's not this vacuum where she creates
a
this
fantasy of an ideal dad.
Is he in prison?
He's being in and out.
Okay. Because
and we're showing him completely from our family. We're showing him.
Okay.
And I'm sorry
if he's not in prison, people need to know that he's not really gotten the help that he needs, and other people need to be
one
protected.
other question: has he even expressed a desire to be in touch with her?
He's not allowed, and he hasn't expressed any desire.
Right. Well, that's another. Well, I wouldn't tell her that. I would
her
just
curiosity and hope and longing.
Right, and that's normal
for a good dad. Yeah. Totally.
And so it's just that it can't happen, and the way things are right now. All right. We have a great gift to anybody joining Club New Life for $30 a month. It's called Time with God. It's a welcome gift. A New Life grocery tote, 100 Days of Freedom, a New Life journal that directs you in certain ways, a restoration Bible, and John Henry's book, 7 Ways to Choose Healing, and Growth Has No Boundaries. Actually, it's my book, 7 Ways to Choose Healing. Anyway, they're very healing guys. So we'd love to send that to you if you increase your Club New Life membership by $10 or you join Club New Life at $30 a month. It is not too late to transform your life this weekend in Every Man's Battle. We would love to see you there. Guys come in, they don't even want to be there, and they're ashamed of themselves, and they don't want to change because they can't imagine what that would be like. And they leave there, and over the next few years, hundreds of men get better because they got better. It's a total transformation. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE, or if you're married to someone or raising someone like this, we can help you. But you have to call us, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Thank you, Dr. Jill Hubbard, for giving our fathers and mothers. Very wonderful book there. And Becky Brown, Steve Arterburn, call us, pray for us, support us. We love you. 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Hi, thank you for watching New Life Live. You know, New Life Live is a Christian counseling program where we deal with the hard questions about life, relationships, kids, free choice, freedom of will, whatever. It's all right there on New Life Live every day, every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you want to call into the live broadcast, you can find the schedule on newlife.com or click the social media link right below. You can see every episode of New Life Live on the New Life YouTube channel. Watch it with a friend, watch it later. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll never miss another episode. So if you want to listen on the go, download the app. The link is right below. And I hope if you need some information, if you want to get some help, you'll call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And I'll see you next time.